friends. My name is Avinash and I welcome everybody to another series of face-to-face series with interesting corporates where we, introduce the corporates, about their business potential, about their business model and their growth prospects ahead. And today, friends, we have got a very interesting company, which is a very well-known player in the packaging space, which makes BOPP as well as specialty films. They have also entered specialty chemicals plus pet care business. And the company in focus today is Cosmo First Limited. And today we have Mr. Neeraj Jain, who's the group CFO of the company. Neeraj ji, thank you very much for sparing your valuable time. And we'll definitely learn a lot about the company from you in this small conversation. So welcome to the show, and we can begin now.
Thank you, Avinash. Thank you for having me.
So Neeraj ji, my first question would be specifically, hinted on your Q1 numbers, although we have them in front of us. The management clearly hinted that revenue grew quite at a very healthy pace in Q1 FY23 at about 26%. EBITDA margins were slightly under pressure and the profit after tax was up by about 7%. Of course, these numbers look commendable in a very challenging quarter. But one of the reasons which was the reason for the slower growth in EBITDA was basically the increase in raw material prices plus a lot of bunching of capacities which happened in the last 4 to 5 months. So if you could tell us, Neeraj ji, what is the status as of now? Now we are in the month of August. So as of now, if you can give us some color as to what is the situation on margins, crude prices have pulled up, normalcy has happened. FMCG sector जो end user sector है company का वो भी अभी अच्छी तरह से perform कर रहा है. So can you give us some color as to what is the status as of now, if that you can share with all of us?
So Vinashji, our first on flexible packaging business, you see our flexible packaging business can be seen in two parts broadly. First is specialty film business, which is almost 65% in volume terms, and remaining 35% remains the commodity part of the business. So as you rightly picked and also mentioned in the management commentary, during last 3-4 months, actually, at least 3 production lines came into the domestic industry in India, which of course impacted some temporarily demand supply scenario on the commodity part of the business. But as our volume has significantly improved on specialty volume, it may not impact us, Cosmo First that much, but some of the other players into the commodity part of the business, it may have a deeper impact. So going forward, broadly, what we see, specialty film portfolio will continue to grow. From 65%, we are targeting 80% in volume terms by the end of the next financial year. And this, of course, impacts the margins favorably. And it's a much more stable business, which a much more better prediction in terms of the margins and the profitability. Second part of the business, of course, the commodity part of the business will largely depend on the demand and supply scenario in the industry, which we expect on the demand side. There is expected to be robust growth on the even the commodity part of the business as well. Because as you are aware, flexible packaging in India has been growing double digit from more than last 1 decade. And there are a lot of factors actually. Even Corona has impacted it favorably, in fact, particularly rural part of India. If you see, post-Corona, people have become more conscious about the hygiene and all. So in particularly from rural part of the India, we have seen and witnessed increased demand, which we expect the demand side should definitely grow. There may be some hiccups in terms of the demand supply, temporary gaps if some supply hiccups. But overall, the industry looks fairly promising. Margins looks promising for the flexible packaging.
Okay, fine, Neeraj ji. My second question is, the company has also now entered specialty chemicals business. If you could tell us something about this business, about the opportunity size, how big is this market, and which particular segment is the company targeting? Because this is also one segment where I believe margins could be a lot better compared to the commodity business. So if you could give us some color on the specialty chemical business, how big is the opportunity for you in the next say 2 to 3 years, and how are you going to strategize your place in this sector?
So Vinashji, within specialty chemical, we are looking for 3 verticals. One is master batches, textile chemicals, and adhesives. Master batches is close to 8,000 crore industry in India. textile chemical is close to 10,000 crore industry, and adhesive is almost 3 times of the textile chemical industry. So fairly large industries as such. What we are looking primarily is the very unique kind of the proposition, in the sense, we are looking for those textile chemicals which will reduce substantially either the power consumption of the textile industry in the dyeing process, or water consumption of the industry, which again is going to be scarce. So what we are trying to look at the very niche areas where the margins would be superior, and with time we see definitely good amount of the growth coming from the specialty chemical. Broadly, as we have indicated to our investors, we are looking 400 crore to 500 crore rupee of top line coming from specialty chemical in next couple of years with these three verticals which we mentioned.
Neeraj, one small question which is related to this question on the adhesive market. Could you tell us that will these products be similar to what we see the existing products which adhesive market companies cover, like say Pidilite or Astral? Will it be on similar lines, or is the company looking at some other kind of range or vertical within the adhesive market?
So Avinashji, I mean, our strength lies with the plastic. We knows plastic very well. So our first phase adhesive will be focused on the flexible packaging part of the adhesives. So of course, the laminator use lot different types of the adhesive related to packaging. So that will be core focus area and where the company's strength lies.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Neeraj, now coming to your new started business, that is the pet care business, Zigli, which a lot of people, a lot of investors are very interested about. Can you tell us how this business actually started out? Because this is a very unique business. We see a lot of pet care companies, but very few are there in the listed and in the organized segment. So पहले तो बताइए ये business management ने कैसे शुरुआत की, इसका क्या reason था to identify this business, and how big is this opportunity? अगले 3-4-5 साल में how big can the revenue from this segment be? Because today it's a small business, but obviously potential is pretty large. So if you can add some color on that.
So Avinash, about 1.5 years back or so, this idea got generated among the management team. We were looking for new businesses in terms of the diversification, and then this clicked. If you look at the pet care industry globally, it's a very large industry. I mean, particularly US, Western world's billion dollars of the industry. But India, unfortunately, this industry has not given, that kind of the shape. So this is why we saw that there's no meaningful player in India in this industry, and the industry got immense growth potential. According to a couple of estimates, this industry is expected to grow between 25 to 30% in next couple of years, which is expected to a very high growth area. And currently also we expect between 7,000 crore to 8,000 crore is the size of the industry. And what we then looked at, to launch an omni-channel presence model in the industry. When I say omni-channel, means we would have the retail stores as well. We will have online sales. We will have app. We will have mobile vans. So different channels we try to launch on this platform. This is under a brand called Zigli. So Zigli will have, both the products as well as services, to cater to all requirement of the pets, particularly cats, dogs, so from the pet parents perspective, it's a great value add. On the one umbrella, they will get the food, they will get the, all services, grooming or whatever, veterinarian services. So all this will be available under one umbrella, and that too of the world quality.
Okay. Neeraj, just one added question that, this is a new business. Obviously, vertical is completely different from what Cosmo First, does. So in terms of the managerial bandwidth, has the management team been identified? Have you taken professionals on board? So इसके बारे में कुछ आप जानकारी दे सकोगे?
No, definitely. You see, I mean, we definitely have different business heads. You will notice on our website also, I mean, each vertical or segment of business has a different business head reporting into the group CEO. So that way, Zigbee again has a different business head with appropriate, background from the B2C, from the retail. So we close to have now 80 people in the Zigbee, and which we expect to grow almost double in, maybe next couple of months. So that kind of growth we are looking at. We are current year we are looking for 15 to 18 stores to get opened for the Zigbee, and in the
Okay.
medium term, we expect retail presence to be in 150 stores. And of course, in a large part of the growth is expected through the other channels being the online and the others.
Okay. Fine. Thank you, Neeraj ji. I think very well explained. Neeraj ji, now tell me one thing, the update, on your 450 crores currently new BOPP line, which is coming up. I think iske bare mein, if you can tell us, how soon is this going to be operational? And another thing which we wanted to know is this plant capable also to make specialty films apart from the normal BOPP film? So, can you give us some information on this? Is this a multi-purpose plant so that you all can swipe capacities and obviously also manufacture specialty films in this plant?
So Vinashji, in terms of growth, in flexible packaging, we are looking for assertive growth in next 3 years. So 3 production lines of the company will come in next 3 years. First will be a specialized BOPET line with close to 450 crore rupee of capex. And definitely this line is going to be, as name suggests, actually, is going to focus more on the specialty films, which are high in terms of the margins and better in terms of the ROSI. Initially, although it will largely manufacture the commodity part of the business, but with the time, we would definitely increase the specialty film. Particularly, we are looking for heat resistance film to be launched on this platform, and as well as the high shrink film. So those are few specialty products which are going to add value to the specialized BOPET line. Beside these other 2 lines, we are going to have the CPP line, which will add sustainability in the company's product portfolio, because a mix of CPP line and the BOPP line can be a fantastic replacement of the non-recyclable film. And as we are aware, within the flexible packaging, recyclability is going to be the key theme going forward. Our third line, BOPP line, is expected by the end of the March 25. We'll add close to 1/3 of the capacity. So to sum up for you, we will add close to 70% capacity in next 3 years. So that way,
Okay.
of course, the impact will should come in the bottom line.
Okay, fine. I think very nice to know. Neeraj ji, tell me one thing that, I was reading your presentation where I think management has indicated that, specialty chemical, specialty films are the most important thrust point. You all are current 64, 65%. And the target for FY24, as you mentioned, is around 80%. And every 1% increase in your specialty chemical volume, film volume leads to about 4 to 5 crores of operational EBITDA. So can we assume that सर 24 तक अगर ये 80% होता है तो करीबन 16% इसके ऊपर जाएगा, 15-16%. So can we assume that 75-80 crores of incremental EBITDA can come, because this is definitely a very encouraging thing. Obviously technology will help you get a better kind of pricing, better kind of margin for this product. So can we assume that FY24 में अगर ये होता है तो ये incremental EBITDA जो आपने बताया इसके आसपास आपका operating EBITDA भी बढ़ जाएगा?
So very sharp analysis, I must say, Avinash ji. But the answer is yes. I think that's the direction we are looking.
So isme, another thing which I wanted to ask you is that all the benefits of this technology and this incremental EBITDA, you tackle with customers like Pepsi, you talk to customers like Hindustan Unilever. तो जब आप मार्केट में जाते हैं तभी from a realistic point of view, does the parent company or the customer ask for some discounts? क्योंकि अगर आप इतना पैसा बना रहे हो तो ऑब्वियस है कि सर एफएमसीजी में तो आपको भी पता है मार्जिन्स बहुत कम होते हैं. इट इज फाइनली अ वॉल्यूम गेम. So how do you manage to convince the customers by making such a lot of money and still getting a good price? So उसमें आपका relationship strength आता है या product quality आती है? किस प्रकार से how have you managed this relationship with key customers, specifically large MNC customers, obviously which are always looking to cut down their costs by squeezing the vendor?
So Vinashji, definitely, I mean, we look for long-term relation with our customers and particularly the large brands. What we offer on the table is the value add actually. When I say value add, it's not plain vanilla value add. In the sense, I mean, we significantly enhance some of the basic properties of the packaging film. Now, this could be aroma retention property, this could be high barrier property, this could be many more depending on the requirement of the FMCG player. So that ways, if FMCG player look at the value add, coming from the Cosmo, so that way, I think it helps in terms of maintaining or the improving rather the margins of the company.
I think very well, articulated by you, Neerajji. I think because this is very important in the packaging business. Tell me one thing, Neerajji, just for my information and for the general audience. Normally, specialty chemical, जो specialty films होते हैं और commodity films होते हैं, उसमें contribution margins कितने होते हैं? What is the difference between, the commodity films and the specialty? Because we have been seeing volumes. But in terms of rough contribution margins, इसमें कोई ज़्यादा फर्क होता है? I mean, is it a big difference which you people get?
So Avinash, over last few years, average, if I have to indicate, average commodity, margin has been about 25 rupee per kg. In specialty film, it has been about 60 rupee per kg. Okay. So that way is almost 2.5 times of the gap. Exactly. In both the categories. Okay.
And this you expect, Neeraj ji, to be maintained? I mean, ये एक नया plant जो आने वाला है plus existing जो products है, I mean, you expect this contribution margin to be retained at these levels for the specialty films, about 65 to 70 rupees?
Actually, the demand drivers are fairly robust. So that ways, I would definitely say yes. In medium to long term, these are fairly, I mean, the margins to look for.
Okay, fine. Neeraj ji, now something about your new products. Interestingly, we have seen a lot of new products which you mentioned are there in your research pipeline, like synthetic paper, thermal BOPP film. Many other products have been mentioned. If you can share some, inputs on these, kind of products, and specifically, what is your view on synthetic paper? Because I believe that is a very big market. Company is very positive. तो इसके बारे में थोड़ी सी हमको जानकारी दे दीजिए.
So Avinash, synthetic paper is going to be our star product for the future. So the specialty of synthetic paper is when you touch it, it feels like a paper, but actually it's a plastic and that too durable. So like it's an ideal product for products like, I mean, these certificates which universities issues. So I mean which will last for 100 years. So similarly, I mean, restaurant menu card, maps, ID, passports, visiting cards, they are the few other applications of synthetic paper. So I mean, we are trying to drive this market. I mean, we of course lead this product in India, having dominant market share. So that ways, I mean, they are ambitious plan for its growth, both in India and overseas.
In terms of potential, Neeraj ji, if you could tell us, in the next 2 to 3 years, can synthetic paper, all these new R&D products, can these be commercialized and can we expect a decent kind of revenue from these products? Because, currently it is BOPP, the specialty films, obviously, that is a major, bread and butter for the company. But ये product range में company का क्या vision है? अगले 2-3 साल में will it become a 200-300 crore kind of product portfolio for you? I mean, just estimating. But is it possible to visualize this kind of number from the company?
So Avinash, I mean, we have already launched synthetic paper. So FY22 had decent amount of synthetic paper contribution. Okay. So that ways we are looking for assertive growth coming years from the synthetic paper vertical. We have already now more than 80 distributors India-wide for the synthetic paper. So yes, I mean, and we are again looking for the capacity expansion for the synthetic paper, which is not a capital intensive machine, but it will be largely R&D driven and distribution channel driven business. So that ways we are looking for multifold growth to come in synthetic paper in coming years.
Neeraj ji, now something about your exports. Now currently, as everyone is aware that global uncertainties are there. Europe is facing some challenges. US is also facing some challenges. So in the light of these developments, overall, how is company going to face these challenges as far as its export markets are concerned? So इसके बारे में, if you can give us some color.
So Avinash ji, we currently export to more than 80 countries worldwide. and close to 50% of companies' revenue comes from the export. And single largest exposure to one country may not be more than about 6% of the top line.
Okay.
So that way, it's a quite a diversified portfolio, geographical perspective, which we enjoy. So I think from the risk management perspective, there's a good amount of diversification, and we are looking for to continue the same. With
Okay.
respect to specific issues with Europe or any specific territory, I think looks nobody can expect such instances for the short term, but medium to long term looks fairly a normalized scenario.
Okay. Fine. So I think one can assume from what you are telling us, Neeraj ji, ki हो सकता है कि in the short term थोड़ा बहुत business में volatility रहेगी, but long term में the company is confident that exports will be a very strong vertical for the company going ahead.
Exactly, Avinash. One more reason why this is the case, actually, most part of our packaging film goes to FMCG sector, and we all are aware it's a fairly defensive sector in itself, because in terms of the bad economic cycle, also FMCG, product will continue to sell. So that is, I think, we would continue to get some benefit there.
Definitely. In fact, my last question, Neeraj ji, would be a very strategic one. Is that we are now a very large player in the BOPP space, specialty film space. We have identified new business verticals. तो पहला क्वेश्चन मेरा रहेगा कि what is the kind of strategy management is thinking to achieve over the next say 3 to 4 years? What is the next leg of growth company is looking at? And secondly, in our business, what is that special quality which is the most important business mode in our business? As I was telling you earlier, we deal in a commodity, but even within a commodity, we have managed to get very good EBITDA margins. We have managed to get very good customers. Plus, you all have started, your focus on value-added products. So all this finally leads to ask you that, over the next 3 to 4 years, can we expect that some much better performances can come from the company? And, how do you want yourself to be positioned both in the domestic market as well as in the export market? If you could give us some color on that.
So Vinajji, you will notice we are taking all steps required to transform the company from a pure commodity player few years back to largely to transform into a specialty player, both with respect to the flexible packaging as well as the new verticals. We have also given a little diversification to the company in terms of the specialty chemical as well as having Ziggly in place. Now there are ambitious growth plan for all the three verticals, specialty film vertical particularly. As we mentioned, we are looking for 70% capacity expansion in next 3 years. So from that perspective, definitely investors may look at ambitious growth to come from the flexible packaging. Specialty chemical and Ziggly will, grow multifold actually. These are the, we are present in those industries where the industry size is fairly decent, and we have just started the journey. So that way is a lot to do in both in terms of the specialty chemical as well as the Ziggly. From the Ziggly perspective, all I would like to say is we are here to even to grow the industry itself. So this industry has potential to grow multifold in the size of the industry, I'm saying, in next 1 decade or so. So that way, that kind of the benefit, having right presence in that vertical or in that industry is going to add a lot of value. At the right time, we will demerge the Ziggly business from the flexible packaging business, and definitely it will run as a separate company. So I think
Neeraj, I think very well answered by you. One last question, can I safely assume, for the benefit of all the investors, that the company has made a very strong conscious effort to remove the cyclicality part of the business? Because commodities में cycle चलती है, so can I assume and can we understand properly from you that the cyclicality part of the business has been more or less been taken care of, and we can expect definitely steady to strong growth even in the coming future years?
Absolutely, Avinash. So whole of the focus on the research and development to the specialty part of the business has been for this reason only, that how to reduce the impact of the cyclability of the business. So that way, I think the journey is still on. A lot has been achieved on this, but there is still to look forward to. So we are definitely, we would continue to focus on R&D and specialty vertical.
Anyway, I think Neeraj ji, thank you very much for your valuable time, and I think viewers, we should thank Neeraj ji because a lot of very good information has been shared by him. We hope that all of you benefit, and Neeraj ji, thank you again for your valuable time, and all the best to you and your team, and best wishes for future. Thank you.
Many thanks, Avinash ji. Thank you.